Today, we're not supposed to be doing. You're not supposed to be doing today. You should not ever, never, ever pull a fire alarm in case when there is a real emergency. The reason why there is no fire because you're the one who pulls the fire alarm for fun. You know it's not good. The reason why you keep pulling a fire alarm for no reason, because you might gonna get in trouble to skip homework and you're trying to alert people to evacuate the building for no reason. This is the reason why you're supposed to be doing this. This will never ever mess with when there is a real emergency. It's illegal if you're doing it. You might gonna go to jail for doing that. Or if you're trying to do this, do not do something like this. Flipping the switch up and down, it could get you arrested. So, or if you're trying to pull the fire alarm too many times, you might get arrested or go to jail for doing it. Let's say you're a little kid who pull a fire alarm. Like you said like this, I'm bored. What should I do to skip a test? Oh, there's a fire alarm. I'm going ahead and pull it. No. You leave the fire alarm the way it is. Never pull a fire alarm to get attention or something like do not smash it. Or do not do something like this. Doing that could be get you arrested or something like. Yeah, you better just leave it alone. So if you're trying to pull it, but there's no fire, like that, it's not a prank and it's not a joke. If you're the one who pulled a fire alarm, you might you're gonna get expelled from school or something. Or do you see these wires up there? Do not take the wires out. Leave them alone. Why is the wire off on the bat box? You should not ever do not do this for fun. Do not pull a fire alarm in the public building. Like that, it's not a joke. And it's not a prank. You could be responsible. Or if you're you're the one who gets arrested. Or yeah, if you're an older kid that's the one who pulled the fire alarm, you might go to jail for that, or you're gonna get arrested for 1,000,000 days. Think about that. Or do not open up a pull station for fun. Do not lift it up by pulling it down, or do not lift this up. Don't do like this. No, or don't do something like this. Doing that could get you arrested. Do not pull a fire alarm in case there's no fire. Or there's a real fire, you can go ahead and pull it. Like this. And it's not a joke. I'm not joking around. It's not a joke. If you're the one who pulled a fire alarm for no reason, you're the one who gets expelled from school for doing it. Don't shake it. Just leave the fire alarm the way it is. Or do not pull it down. That is called messing around with it. You should not ever, never mess around with the fire alarm. You're gonna get expelled. Like tampering with it, pulling it. Or do not open it while it's pulled. You should leave it alone. Never pull a fire alarm because there's no fire. Or the one who pulled the fire alarm doing this. And you went. You know Mikey and Darman, he pulled the fire alarm because there's no fire. You know, so he got even more trouble and even more get arrested. So don't pull a fire alarm because there's no fire. You're gonna go to jail for doing that you're the one who pulled a fire alarm and you might get sent to jail for doing this stuff or doing this crap forever doing that. Never do this stupid stuff. Like pulling the fire alarm or messing around with this. That is the stupidest idea that you did. Don't pull a fire alarm because there's no fire. The one who a boy who cried wolf, that like a kid who pulled a fire alarm like this. Like, it's not a prank. It's not a joke or not even a prank. You know, you might get arrested for doing it. Or don't do something like this. Or don't do like something like this. Like, doing that could get you a detention attention for pulling a fire alarm. Only pull these when there's a real emergency. Okay? This is by only that's like testing an exit sign. You should not ever tamper with these exit signs or emergency lights or any stuff like that. Or any crap like that. I don't know. But don't tamper with the exit signs or fire alarms or emergency lights. These are never ever messed with. These are for emergency only. Or for emergencies only. Like, let's say when there's a real fire, and if you see fire in the hallway, you can go ahead and pull a fire alarm. But don't tamper with the fire alarm or the hex key or the bat box, you know. That's no good. No good. That is a bad idea. And a stupidest idea you never freaking see. Pulling the fire alarm. But this is how you're not showing how to pull a fire alarm when there is no fire. Pull this when there is a real fire. Or when you're having a fire drill at home, you can pull this. When you have a fire drill at school, you go ahead and pull the fire alarm, or you have permission to pull it. It's fine, but don't tamper with the fire alarm. In case there's no fire, you leave the fire alarm alone. Never tamper with these, or do not tamper like the handle. Don't tamper with the handle either. Could get you arrested for that. It's not a toy. It's not a prank. If you're pulling a fire alarm, you might get arrested too. Or do not do like this. Do not like do something like this. Like, if you want in the 18-year-old who pulled a fire alarm said, "I'm gonna pull a fire alarm. Ha 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 ha." And no, you leave the fire alarm the way it is. Or if you're a little kid, you might get grounded by your parents. And if you're an older person who pulled a fire alarm, you might get arrested by the FBI and the cops too. Do not tamper with these. Leave it alone. Don't tamper with these fire alarms. You know, they are serious stuff. Okay? Thank you for watching. And before we get into that, only when you have your fire alarm at home, that does not contact the fire department. So these are never ever mess with them. There's a real fire. When on with the fire, by all means, pull a fire alarm. But if you're trying to mess around with this fire alarm, don't do it. If you're bending on pulling the fire alarm, you have to stop. So don't pull a fire alarm in case there's no fire, or if you have intention to do it. If there's no fire, or if you don't have a key. If you don't have a key for a fire alarm, just leave it alone. Don't tamper with that either. These are fire alarm. So these are life safety devices, and these are serious stuff. You should not ever pull a fire alarm because there's no fire, that you're the one who did it. Or you can get grounded by your parents when you're a little kid like this. Or if you're like an older person who pulled a fire alarm, you might get arrested too. You might get arrested. You should not ever tamper with these. I hope you guys learn. Don't pull a fire alarm when there's no fire. if I see you do it, I swear to God, I'm gonna call the cops on you guys.